Sports, Terry Singh. How are you, Terry?
I'm good, thank you, Chris.
Good.
Good to see you again, brother. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. So, to be fair, we was going to catch up over the weekend on the British Featherweight title fight with
Yeah,
Gully Power and Reese Edwards. It was a really
yeah,
close fight, and I think
yeah.
it'd probably be fair to say Edwards in the beginning half of the fight, maybe the first 3 rounds, was quite successful on the back foot trying to turn Gully. But then for me, I would say probably round three onwards. Don't get me wrong, there were parts for Edwards, but I think his pressure for Gully is really what probably edged it forward for him. I know it was a very tight decision. He was up on one card, but I was wondering what your thoughts on the fight was as far as analysis and breakdown.
So, Chris, I agree. I agree with you. I saw it again yesterday,
Hmm.
just to want to see the fight again and just to see,
Yeah,
because when you're in there live, when you're watching it, it could be swayed
yeah,
by dominance. I
100%.
just wanted to see it again and see the sort of clearer work. And I totally agree. I said the first 3 rounds, Edwards showed why he was an elite amateur because he was a really good
Absolutely.
amateur. He boxed internationally.
Five-time Welsh champion.
Five-time world champion. Yeah.
Hmm.
Even professionally, but he boxed. Who did he box in his last fight over in Saudi Arabia?
Oh,
This Liverpool lad.
Pete McGrail, who's another elite
Yeah.
amateur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another elite amateur. Obviously,
Hmm.
he didn't reach that sort of level in the amateur, but he was a good
Hmm.
amateur. He
Hmm.
fought at high levels in, you would say,
Yeah.
in the pros as well. So going into it, I was quite, I was quite, how you
Torn.
about it?
I was I
I
was torn.
thought, yeah, I was torn, but I just edged it towards Edwards because of
Hmm.
experience, because of his
Yeah.
professional. But Gully, like all, he looked very tense to the build up to it. He looked very serious, and
Hmm.
sometimes that's a lot of energy burning out of you because he was so
Absolutely.
tense, and Edwards was very relaxed. So you got to look into that factor of it as well. But as soon as you saw as you walk into the ring, you look directly in the camera. That crowd as well. You heard the crowd, right? How
Yeah.
much they
Uh,
were against Gully. Like
Cardiff,
you heard
weren't
as soon
it?
as the music
Cardiff
went on, they
crowd.
booed him. That was
Yeah.
hard. That
It's a
was hard. As
Welsh
Edwards
card, essentially, wasn't it? It was a very
the wild
hostile,
card.
yeah, environment.
Exactly. So yeah, man, they're totally, and when Edwards came, as I said, they cheered for him. So you've got how well Gully handled that pressure, and I know he's big on that mindset side of things and the, mind
Yeah.
coach and stuff. He does a
Mind
lot of
coaching.
self.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Mindfulness.
does a lot of that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
Um, so credit to him, man. He showed that he's got a heart of a lion, heart of a warrior.
Hmm.
In the first 3 rounds, I thought this could end early. I don't
He
know if
was
you felt that.
turning him quite a little bit. Yeah. I think he
He
was
was
getting the
tagging
better
him.
of like, when he was trying to turn him off the left hook and then Gully had to cut the angle, but he was just walking him down to start with. But then I think Edwards didn't expect that. And that's why he faded towards even the mid rounds. When you're moving that much in your boxing, you can't, and switching stance, you can't do that at those levels. I think anyway. I think it
Yeah,
tires you out. Um,
yeah, but
yeah.
the reason he got
Mhm.
tied out as
Mhm.
well, it's not that he had to move. Because
Mhm.
if he stood, he would have stand in a fist fight with
Yeah.
Gully.
Which
So
is,
he had
yeah,
to, and that's credit to Gully for putting under so much pressure
absolutely.
that Edwards had to move.
Yeah.
Um, so there's that aspect of it, all credit to Gully, but he should, as I said, heart of a lion.
Hmm.
Um, he really showed that he's got something in him. It's really hard
I
to
think
tell in
so.
that competition. He did the competition in Saudi Arabia where he lost against the kid who actually
Yeah, it
gone and won
was
it.
really
He got
close.
dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got dropped in first, but that dropped in
Hmm.
first second. But that kid was a banger.
He
That kid
was.
was a
He
banger.
was I think he's tipped to win that, wasn't he? That kid.
He was.
I can't think of his name. It was it Mosquito. I might
I
be
can't
pronouncing it
remember.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, but as you said, he gone and won it. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, I've got full credit for Goody how he battled back after the fourth round. Now, if we look at the scorecards, it was 3-0 up as we went in,
Yeah.
and then Gully got stronger and stronger and stronger as we went on. But what we haven't taken into consideration was a cleaner work that Edwards was doing.
Hmm.
Do you see his jet? How every time Gully was coming forward when he had it, ping,
Yeah.
ping, and that can sway the judges.
I think so. I
It
think.
just takes a couple of those rounds, and
Hmm.
I gave it to Gully, but I
Hmm.
can see why the judges gave it
Edged
a
it
draw.
on.
It
Yeah.
wasn't a
Yeah.
robbery. It wasn't a
Hmm.
It definitely wasn't a robbery. I think it was really close. Gully for
Hmm.
me won it by a round or two.
I think I had him up by two on the night, but then you
Yeah,
watched it and I was a little bit. So I was like you. So I watched a little bit of Edwards before that, just for the
mm,
breakdowns and to see how he boxed. And I noticed he boxed 3 times. He boxed 10 rounds. Gullied max was six before that. So massive credit to Gully to go in there. stay composed on that side. It's brilliant. So I see your point on the cleaner work, but I think although some of the punches, I know there's a few comments I've read about the punches hitting his gloves, Reese Edwards' gloves, but I think that I don't know, just for me, I think because he was pressing the action and Edwards wasn't able to get out of the way. I know that's probably controversial with like the Golovkin versus Canelo breakdowns you probably see where Golovkin's going forward, but he's not doing too much. But Gully was working all that time. And I think where Edwards stole a little bit of it for me was probably, you're right, with the jab and just trying to turn him, but then the ref would break it a lot when he was turning him or someone was catching the arm. So that was interesting to see as well. Um, for me on the analysis side. I don't know what your thoughts, but yeah.
No, just something that you
Mhm.
said about Canelo and Golovkin, the
Golovkin.
first fight,
Yeah.
where Golovkin was pushing Canelo back, but he's really wary about throwing shots because
Yeah.
Canelo's a counter puncher.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He has to be wary of what's coming,
Hmm.
especially such a huge puncher at that sort of weight.
Yeah.
So I can, that's yeah, that's a completely different level. But yeah, it's a
Yeah.
fair comparison why that
Yeah. I
happens.
mean, it's stylistically on that type of,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Because sometimes
yeah,
people, you can judge it either way. Some people like the cleaner work, but then some people like someone coming forward, but it only matters if it's effective aggression because that's where
yeah.
the ring generalship shows it. I don't know. Would you agree? I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
where I
yeah.
would lean
No,
to. Yeah.
I think
Hmm.
just touching base on that, I think
Hmm.
you got to be able to push back, which Gully did, and he had
Yeah.
him on the back ropes a lot, and
Hmm.
that shows to me that he's dominating the fight.
Yeah.
Terms of, like when he had Edwards on the back, I thought, wow, Edwards just standing taking it, but he couldn't do anything. He
Yeah, he
literally
was a bit
he
trapped,
was
wasn't
so he was trapped. He was
he?
he was worn out. You can sense. I think I sensed it from the sixth round onwards. He expected
I
so
agree.
much energy in the first 6 rounds and
Hmm.
putting so much into it. He thought he can get this guy out of there. But
Yeah,
Gully showed that Punjabi spirit.
it was.
And he showed that Sikh spirit, and he got through it, man.
I
He got
really
through it,
liked
and
the
he
post
really
fight
battled,
on
man.
that side when he
He
said
did. We
Dan could have
combined.
known
Yeah, I saw
Dodgy.
that post.
Yeah, and Dan could have always
Great
Dodgy.
post you did.
I agree.
Loved it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
No, no,
that's a
if you think about
testament.
it, no one's
Yeah.
done anything like that before.
No, not to that level. I think we had one British welterweight champion, Harry Dami. I think that was 2000s though. So no one's done that for like 24, 25 years.
No, no one's
26 years
represent the Sikhi like that. Like
to
Dylan
that
Cheema
level.
did with the Kunda and
Yeah.
stuff,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
Gully's again, and I think this is only going to encourage. I think
Keep
having
people
Gully there
climbing.
is going to keep people
Yeah.
coming in there, keep reaching new levels. We saw another Singh on
Hmm.
the card as well that we have to
Yeah.
mention. He
Go
came in
for it.
Punjabi MC. I don't know if you saw
Punjabi.
that.
Oh, remind me.
I forgot his name now, but he's from Southampton.
Oh,
He
you know
boxes
what? I
with
do
Dominic
know who you're
Ingle.
on about. Yeah, I do know who you're on about. He come out with Punjabi MC. Oh,
Yeah.
it's just eluding me. I know who you're on about. I'm gonna
Yeah,
put that
so
in this video. Yeah.
exactly. So that
Yeah.
he was in
Hmm.
there. And credit to him as well. He's only
He was quite
21,
a clean boxer, wasn't he?
18,
It's, yeah,
18,
he's
18.
young,
He's young, man.
really young.
And I know his amateur coach,
Hmm.
Stewie
Okay.
Gill.
Yeah.
And I reached out, Stewie, who's this kid like? He's like, yeah, he's good,
Hmm.
Terry. It's three
Yeah.
brothers, and
Okay.
it's a
And
Terry
all
good
of it,
kid.
are they amateur all at the moment? The other two,
No,
and then
after
one's
I
turned
think
over.
I know he's pro. I think
Hmm.
Yuvraj. I think the one
Yuvraj.
who's pro is named Yuvraj.
Hmm.
And he's two brothers. I don't. I think they're training with Dominic Ingo as well. At least one of them is. So it's two
Okay.
brothers training. I think one's quite young yet.
Hmm.
But yeah, there's something to
Oh, he's
watch out
from
for.
he's from Southampton. He's training up north.
Yeah,
That's
he's
a big
training.
change.
He's training with that
Hmm.
Baz, the
As
one who fought Cole Frampton.
oh, okay. So he's getting some good
Him.
experience. I
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
like the
man.
Ingle
Obviously
style
Dominic
as far as
Ingo.
the angles and the
Yeah,
footwork and
yeah,
things like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So they got
Hmm.
a good little thing going on there. Yeah, man. So they got a few young Sikh boxers coming through. Obviously, we've got
Okay.
Dylan Cheema.
Hmm.
You got those boys, those two boys. Who else is there?
We've got still got Inder Singh Bassi.
Uh,
He's quite competitive. There's quite a few. We have Balraj. Although I think he's transitioning
he's retired.
to MMA now. Yeah, I think he's going back to MMA.
Yeah.
Um,
Balraj Kara there is as well.
yeah, there's Amo Singh, an amateur.
Oh
He looks
yes,
quite good.
with Mark Tibbs.
Yeah, he looks really good at the moment. There was
Yeah.
another young kid I seen, he's probably like I was saying that, he's probably like 17, 18. He looked quite good. I can't think of his name. Um, Yeah, we got
But
quite a good few.
there's a lot of young fighters coming through at the moment. A lot of young fighters coming
Absolutely.
through. So
I
it
th
really
Mhm.
shows that we've got, I think Dylan Chima was the first one that really put it on the map. And I
Yeah, with
think
the
slowly,
boxer
slowly,
tournament.
since then, we see so many more Sikh boxing shows,
Absolutely.
so many more. So he was the one
Hmm.
who really was the first one, I think.
Yeah, I
Um,
would agree. To that breakout level, I think that when he come out with the Dawl and he fought Melvin in his in the mid-finals, was it, or the final of the box tournament, and that was a really close fight. And Chima just edged it. Such a good fight though. Again, that
yeah,
very gritty, come forward style. I think we're seeing a lot of that stylistically, and maybe that speaks to maybe the sick spirit in that essence of not wanting to take a back foot, but it's a really good, interesting style to watch, I think. I think it's only
yeah.
going to grow. I think we've got G&G Smethwick, they've got a good page going on with boxing. G&G South Birmingham, they got boxing classes for like children, young people. I think it's a good thing for the community as far as something to build towards. I think it so that you got the element of like son to supply, so being a saintly soldier. So as
Mhm.
long as it's all within, you've got the both the saintliness and the soldier element. That's where you understand the wisdom and the yarn in essence as well. So that would be fantastic to keep seeing how that progresses as far as
100%.
spiritually.
You
Yeah.
said it absolutely perfect. The Sikh
Mhm.
spirit, the Sikh
Yeah.
way of living is a saint soldier, right?
Yeah,
and,
100%.
and it represents, it's taken a long time
I'd agree.
for Sikhs to, get involved in the sport. You've seen loads of amateurs,
Hmm.
um, and now they're turning over pro. It's a
Yeah.
lot easier to turn pro now as well. When we were boxing 10 odd years ago, 10, 12 years ago, there wasn't so many avenues there to turn pro, unless you're like an ABA champion or you box a
Yeah, you've
GB or
done
something
something.
like that.
Yeah. I
But
th
now I see a lot more people just
Mhm.
having 20 fights, 10 fights, amateur,
And
like, do you know
turning
what, I'm going,
over. Yeah.
yeah.
I think
So, yeah,
social media is the exposure as well. You don't need to, there was the thing with, I want to say Anthony Joshua done a good talk on it. He said, I won a gold medal, so Eddie Hearn straight away, they knew they could make a deal. But then you've got some people, maybe like a Dillian White, who would have had a lot of white collar experience and maybe some amateur experience, but then they wouldn't have had that exposure initially until he took a big fight like AJ as a pro.
mm,
So I think there's just a lot more availability now, especially with like misfits and there's all sorts
yeah,
going on. But that's another whole other thing. But yeah, you've
yeah,
got a lot going on. I think as far as exposure in boxing. Yeah,
yeah, man. Love it, love
I'd
it, love
agree.
it.
We'll have a
Wicked,
catch up
bro.
again soon if you want, Terry. I appreciate you joining me.
My pleasure, Chris. It's been lovely
Appreciate it.
talking to you, man. We're a bit run for time today. Apologies, but we had so much more to talk about on the boxing side. But I'm glad we got this one
Absolutely.
done.
For
And
sure. We'll
yeah,
have a
maybe
catch up
we should do
soon.
something like this again soon. I love that.
I agree. I think we will. So shout out to Lions Den Sport on Instagram. Make sure you give him a follow and on YouTube. And Terry, it's been a pleasure. Peace,
It's been a
guys.
pleasure, brother.